right. Hello, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to Out to Lunch with WRMN, AM 1410, Voice of the Valley, Talk of the Town. Broadcasting live here from downtown Elgin, serving the Fox River Valley. Hopefully everyone's having a good day so far. Happy Monday. Hopefully everyone had a good weekend. I had a good weekend for sure. Some of the weekend plans that I did, I went out with my friend Madeline, and of course my brother Ryan as well came along because both of us are friends with her. We went to Tatsui Ramen, which is a very good place to go to. Recommended. It's right near Big Sammy's Hot Dogs. Off Randall in that nice little area near the El Salon. So Tatsui Ramen, very good place, had some very good food, lots of laughs and great company. And then on Sunday, I went to Gobert's. Yes, I went to Gobert's Farm. It was a lot of fun, and I'll definitely talk more about them here as we get later into the show here, because I wanted to, give a testimonial on them and tell you quite a bit of the things that have changed with the Gobert's Pumpkin Farm in Pingree Grove for the Pingree Grove location. Oh boy, was it packed. There were lots of people. I think it was a Pingree Groves Day or something. I think they have something like that where they have a shuttle bus that drops people off. Yeah, it was very, very busy there, but it was a nice time, and they definitely upgraded quite a bit there since the last time that I went. So we'll definitely talk about that as a suggested place to go to here on Out to Lunch. You're listening to WRMN, AM 1410, Voice of the Valley, Talk of the Town. Broadcasting live here from downtown Elgin, serving the Fox River Valley. Let's take a look at temperatures today. Yes, so today's a nice day. We've got beautiful sunny skies outside here. All right, we've got here currently right now at 55 degrees, definitely crisp fall air outside today on October 7th. We are going to be seeing a high of 67 degrees, so very much so fall temperatures and weather today. What also helps, of course, is it's nice and sunny outside. We're seeing quite a few people walking by with some of their, family and friends, and they're also wearing jackets too. I didn't wear a jacket today. I've got long sleeves, comfortable long sleeves today, so definitely very much so my type of weather, as you know. We are going to be seeing it dropping down to a low of 42 degrees as we get into tonight. So it's definitely going to be a nice chillier night tonight. We are expecting to be seeing some clear with periodic clouds. Heading on into tomorrow for Tuesday, we do see it as a high of 73 degrees. Another beautiful sunny day all around with clear skies into Tuesday night, dropping down to a low of 43 degrees. Again, we are seeing these temperatures dropping a bit here. Now, as we get closer into the weekend, we are going to be seeing a little quick rise in temperature and then dropping a little bit more too. And next week's prediction is definitely going to be much more into the real fall temperatures here. So we see for Wednesday a high of 76 degrees. So we do see the temperatures slowly start to rise as we get throughout the rest of this week, kind of in the middle of the week. We still see it dropping down to a low of 47 degrees as we get into Wednesday night. Wednesday is predicted to be nice and sunny throughout the day and clear for the nighttime. Thursday rolls around, we see a high of 75 degrees, predicted to be pretty much nice and sunny again, with a low of 50 degrees as we get into Thursday night, nice and clear. So pretty much this whole week so far here, we're going to be seeing pretty much mostly sunny skies. We get into Friday, we do see it, bumping up into the 80s. So we do see a high of 84 degrees. It is supposed to be earlier in the morning in the 60s, and then it does bump up quite drastically as we get closer into the afternoon time, with it being a high of 84 degrees. Partly cloudy though, so a little bit more cloud. So maybe it won't feel as much like in the 80s, or at least in the middle 80s, maybe more like early 80s or late 70s. And then we are seeing it dropping down to a low of 52 degrees as we get into Friday night. As we head on into Saturday, this is where we're going to start to see those temperatures start to drop. We do see for Saturday here, mostly sunny predicted for the day, going to be pretty much within the 60s throughout the majority of the day for Saturday. High of 69 degrees, low of 51. Pretty much staying within the middle 60s and lower 60s throughout the majority of the time frame of the day. I'm speaking more in terms of around 10 o'clock until 7 o'clock or so. That's going to be coming up for Saturday. And then we are going to be seeing it being mostly cloudy skies as we get into Saturday night. Sunday rolls around here for next Sunday for the weekend. We see a high of 65 degrees, and then it does drop down to a low of 39 degrees as we get into Sunday night. So much chillier weather here. For Sunday, it is supposed to be partly cloudy in the morning. Once we get to the afternoon and evening, it is supposed to be a little bit more mostly cloudy skies. Again, a high of only 65 degrees, dropping down to a low of 39 degrees with clear and periodic clouds for Sunday night. And then for prediction for next Monday, this a week from today, it is predicted to be mostly sunny, but only a high of 58 degrees. Yes, and then it does drop down to a low of 34 degrees as we get into next Monday night. So we are going to definitely be seeing into next week more of the chillier temperatures outside. So if you still want to hang on to a little bit more of the summer weather here, the best day I guess we could be really is Friday. I mean, I would say the really hot summer days are over. As of right now, we don't know. We could get a day where it gets up to 95. We don't know. But as of right now, kind of staying within the, generally speaking, in the 60s, if you're rounding it that way. So that's the weather and temperatures for the rest of this week as we start off this week here and into the weekend, and even a little sneak peek into next week. We're going to be seeing here, of course, a beautiful heartfelt story here. This is brought to you by sunnyskies.com. This is Feel Good Stories. I want to read this to you. This is by a user by the name of Marion Gray Wilson. Wrote this today under Inspirational Stories. And this is such a beautiful picture here, too. Just very nice. It's called A Car Guard's Hospital Visit. So this is what the story reads here. Here is a most amazing story about our incredible fellow South African awesome human beings. I have friends who lived in live in the Edenvale area who have their 84-year-old grandpa Gavin visiting them for a while. Sam regularly takes him with to the shops to get groceries and supplies at Carraglen. She parks on the Woolies side, and there is a car guard called Guy who always greets them enthusiastically. They don't carry cash, so Sam often buys him a loaf of bread for the family and a drink. Grandpa Gavin unfortunately fell ill and was admitted to the Edenvale Hospital. When Sam went to the shops next to get him snacks for his stay in the hospital, Guy, the car guide, noticed she was alone and came to inquire where Grandpa is. Sam told him he was sick in the hospital. People, you would not believe what I say next. Mr. Car Guard Guy and his wife went to visit Grandpa Gavin in the hospital. I have no words. We live in a great country with wonderful people. Oh, very nice. That's very nice indeed. So thank you to Marion on sunnyskies.com for writing that nice inspirational story. So you never know how much you can make someone's day, for sure. If you want to check out more information, some great stories, inspirational stories, funny stories, jokes, and more, you can find it on All Good News on sunnyskies.com. That's sunnyskies.com. The time here is 10:15. So what we're going to do is we are going to take a quick time out. When we come back, of course, we'll talk more here on some news brought to you by FoxValleyMagazine.com. So we'll go through some of the news there as well. And yes, they now have the wines of the month for 2024. So I definitely will be reading through that. I also want to let you know, too, during the 11 o'clock hour, we're having some very special guests on for that hour. So stay tuned for that. Again, you are listening to WRMN AM 1410, taking you out to lunch. We'll be back with more in just a bit. All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Out to Lunch with WRMN AM 1410, Voice of the Valley, Talk of the Town, broadcasting live here from downtown Elgin, serving the Fox River Valley. We hope you are enjoying your day so far. Happy Monday. It's a beautiful sunny day outside today. We hope you're enjoying the day. We're seeing a little bit more of the cooler temperatures outside today. And of course, I want to give you some good suggestions on some wines to have here, so we'll definitely go through that. Before I do that, though, I do want to read through some of the latest of the news. Now, there were 2 news articles posted on Fox Valley Magazine that were posted yesterday. So they were posted yesterday. There was kind of a tough weekend in Elgin. Elgin police investigating 3 shootings, 2 with injuries. So Elgin police are investigating 3 unrelated shootings that took place between Friday and Saturday evening. 2 of the incidents resulted in the victim's hospitalization. Elgin has now experienced 55 gunfire incidents during 2024, only 11 short of the record of 66 set in 2016. Officers responded to the 400 block of Ann Street a little after 10 p.m. on Friday for a report of shots fired, which was later confirmed. Later, at approximately 11:23 p.m., officers responded to the 600 block of St. Charles Street for a reported shooting. While officers were investigating, an adult male arrived at a local hospital with a non-life-threatening gunshot wound, and officers confirmed that subject was related to the incident on St. Charles Street. The investigation of this incident is ongoing, and no other further details have been yet made public. Then we head on into Saturday evening at 11:47 p.m. Officers responded to the 1200 block of Fleetwood Drive, where they found an adult male with a gunshot wound who was subsequently transported to a local hospital. Police believe all parties involved in the incident are known to each other and have been accounted for, and that there is no threat to the public. Detectives of the Major Investigations Division are actively investigating these cases. Anyone with information that may assist in these investigations is asked to call the following number, 847-289-2600, or you can also text a tip, send a message to 847-411 and include in all caps Elgin PD in the beginning of the text, along with the message and or tip information. So that was posted onto foxvalleymagazine.com. That was posted on there. There was another article here as well, too, under news. Let me go back here so I can find it for you. This is the another story that was posted yesterday. Authorities release intense body cam recording of a fatal officer-involved shooting in Aurora. So this happened in Aurora here. Editor's advisory, part of the footage could be disturbing. I'm not going to show it on here, but there is actual footage that you'll be able to actually find it for yourself online on the website. This is, again, foxvalleymagazine.com. So when you go to the main page, you'll be able to find it under news. You'll just click on, of course, that article there. And if you scroll down more towards the top middle of the page, you'll be able to find the video brought to you by the Kendall County Sheriff's Office. So if you would like to watch that, you can feel free to do so. As the Illinois State Police continues to investigate a fatal officer-involved shooting on the southeast side of Aurora on Friday, the Kendall County Sheriff's Office and the Plano Police Department jointly released intense body cam footage of the incident. Kendall County Undersheriff Bobby Richardson said in explaining the decision to release the video, he says, quote, both the Kendall County Sheriff's Office and the Plano Police Department hold integrity as one of their core department values. Part of having integrity is having open and transit inspection of our actions, end quote. So, and then just before 6:45 p.m. on Friday, September 27th, deputies with the Kendall County Sheriff's Office responded to assist the Plano Police Department with the report of shots fired at a home invasion in the 3800 block of Pratt Street in Plano. Upon arriving at the residence, they found 70-year-old Russell Novak, who had been shot and killed. Officers subsequently located a car believed to be associated with the incident in the area, leading to a pursuit that led in the area of Route 34 and Eola Road in Aurora. Deputies and officers from multiple law enforcement agencies encountered an armed subject and, facing what the release indicated was a lethal threat, quote, engaged in subject to protect the public and themselves. According to the Kendall County Sheriff's Office, the suspect was transported to a nearby hospital where he was pronounced deceased. No law enforcement officers were injured. So that's the latest news posted on here under news section wise for FoxValleyMagazine.com. Taking a look here, switching gears to wines of the month. Now, yes, absolutely, you can get yourself some delicious wines suggested by FoxValleyMagazine.com. They also, of course, suggest places that are within the Fox River Valley to get these delicious wines. These are handfully crafted and selected to be put onto FoxValleyMagazine.com so that you know what the wines of the month are. So maybe you can try them out for yourself, see if there's anything that you like. Wine selections are available at local wine stores and wineries within the Fox Valley area. Now, as you know, I'm not as familiar with certain wines. I like reading about it, but pronunciation is definitely not a stronghold of mine, so bear with me. Pizzolato Cabernet Sauvignon, which is a wine that is featured at the Geneva Wine Cellars and Tasting Room. This is at 227 South 3rd Street in Geneva. So you get the beautiful aromas of tangy red currant and cranberry accompanied by the spicy cedar and black flinty mineral notes. Definitely, this is a delicious drink to enjoy. The palate mirrors the nose and adds boysenberry, black cherry, and a splash of kirsch, in addition to a slight green bell pepper and menthol finish as well. So very good. You get a little bit of a dryish medium body. You get a little bit of the tangy pomegranate, black pepper, and toasted cedar accented finish. It's a nice savory table wine. Try it with pepper steak or fajitas is suggested. So sounds pretty good if you want to give them a try. And that can be found at the Geneva Wine Cellars and Tasting Room. Another one suggested is, well, it's called the Batavia. That's what it is. And where is it located? In Batavia at Geneva Winery, or also in Batavia. So it's Geneva Winery, which they have locations. So they have 426 South 3rd Street in Geneva. You can also find it at 407 South 3rd Street, Unit 150 in Geneva, and 5 North River Street in Batavia. So how about that? Try the Batavia in Batavia. You can definitely put that one on your bucket list. It's named for and celebrates the home of their second tasting room in Batavia, Illinois. A medium-bodied white, perfectly balanced with medium-high levels of mouth-watering acidity, makes this perfect to sip on for summer. If you definitely want to stay in on some of the summer options there, is a good thing to try out there. They also do have some other ones here as well that you can also try out. One of them being the 2021 Omen Origins Zinfandel, I think. It's the California blend, Sierra Foothills. Tasting notes, it's a spooky wine just in time for Halloween. Initial aromas of cedar, toasted oak, and wild berries, leading to rich and ripe flavors of blackberry and raspberry. Beautifully complemented by warming spices of clove and cinnamon from the wine's oak aging. The take-home price is $19.98. Not too bad for a nice quality style of a glass of wine to enjoy. You can find this at 64 Wine Bar and Kitchen at 123 Water Street, suite number 105A in Naperville. Good one to try out. Another one that they have here is the 2021 Pomeranz. Good one to try out here too. This is a nice quality style of wine, and the product brand is Shady Lane Cellars. So you can find it here at Up North Wine Tasting Room at 9 North State Street in Geneva. This is another wine of the month. This skin fermented Riesling represents their flagship variety in a unique and different style. And it is accentuating dried fruits, earthy spice, and rich tannin. This wine was fermented on the skins with open top stainless steel tanks for 3 weeks, extracting tannin and terpenins? I don't know. I told you, not a specialty of mine to pronounce words. Shifting the style with exposure to oxygen, they have crafted a true orange wine. Its expression is tea-like and earthy, yet, of course, unmistakably Riesling, for sure. So, I want to give it a try. It sounds pretty good for sure to try out. So this does wrap it up here for the first part of the hour. That's the first part of the hour here, of course. We'll be back with more. And again, you're listening to WRMN AM 1410, Voice of the Valley, Talk of the Town. When we come back, we'll talk a little bit more here too. There are some events to browse, things to do, places to go to. And of course, I want to give a testimonial on the absolutely wonderful Goldbert's Farm. So stay tuned for that, of course, as well. As we get into the 11 o'clock hour, we have a special, couple special guests to talk about a really cool event that happened yesterday. And then, of course, don't forget at around 10 or 12:30, we'll be in our Tradio segment. Stay tuned. We'll be back with more in just a bit. All right, welcome back, folks, to Out to Lunch with WRMN AM 1410, Voice of the Valley. Talk the Town. We hope you are enjoying your Monday morning. The time is approaching 10:35. So what I want to do is read through some other news. This is under Arts and Entertainment. Now, this is actually an article that was posted on October 3rd, which was for, at the time, an upcoming event at the Arcada in St. Charles. Now, this already did happen yesterday, but I do want to tell you about it here. So it was the Average White Band that played at the Arcada Theater. That was on Sunday, October 6th, along with their special guest, Brass from the Past, which began at 5 p.m. So it looked like it was a good time. If you want to check out the band itself, there's information on YouTube that you can check out. So there's some good YouTube videos out there too. The tickets were at $39. You were able to purchase them online, and that was at the Arcada Theater yesterday. So, what it is Brass from the Past is one of Chicago's best cover bands. They feature Chicagoland's top-tier touring and studio musicians. The band offers an unstoppable 6-piece horn section, tight 4-piece rhythm section, and 3 powerful singers who command the stage. So definitely not an ordinary band. They played yesterday at the Arcada Theater, which is located at 105 East Main Street in St. Charles. So very nice. Hopefully people had a good time for sure. Something else here, of course, weekends in October. I did announce this not too long ago, but I'll announce it again here. Blackberry Farm Pumpkin Weekends is back again, of course. The 55-year-old Living History Museum, the Park Districts of Fox Valley Park District remains a popular destination throughout the year, and definitely something you don't want to miss out on for their fall. Historical Blackberry Farm and its natural beauty plays host to the Pumpkin Weekends. Fun things to do, of course. And of course, you can also check out what's going to be happening there in the near future. Yesterday, they had bubble making. Coming up October 12th, they're going to be having pumpkin carving to do, as well as October 13th, face painting. If you go the following weekend on that, October 19th and 20th, on the 19th, it's trick-or-treating. And they're going to be having a nice children's concert on the 20th. And then finally here, October 26th, they're going to be having a balloon artist out there. And October 27th, the world's tallest scarecrow. Wow, that's cool. So that's going to be coming up there. If you want to check out the list for the special activity dates that are going to be featured throughout the month of the Pumpkin Weekends, you can find that on foxvalleymagazine.com. Now, of course, I also want to pay tribute and recognition to the Gobert's Farm in Pingree Grove, which is the pumpkin patch in Kane County. Not too bad of a drive there, quite packed when I went. So Ryan and I went yesterday. We decided to go. We went around 12 o'clock or so, and their weekday hours are 9 a.m. to 6. Monday, so their weekday hours are Monday through Wednesday, it says here. Weekends, Thursday through Sunday is what they consider weekends. That's 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. On the weekdays, it's 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Now, if you go on the weekdays, the admission is, I believe, $19 to get in on the weekdays and $25 to get on the weekends. So it was $25 per person when we went. So if you want to check out more information on that, that's goberts.com. Now, of course, there are 2 locations. There's the South Barrington location and also the Pingree Grove location. I haven't been to the Pingree Grove location in a couple of years, and they have updated so much already since you go there. When you first walk in, of course, it's the it's still the same style. Of course, you have the beautiful Gobert's Market Barn, which I love going into. We did get apple cider donuts. We did get a couple pumpkins as well, which we were able to, of course, put on the front steps of our house. So very nice. They have the donuts made fresh all the time whenever they're open, of course. You can, of course, get lots of other things. They have their spaghetti squash, butternut squash, and they have a lot of others out there too. Great pumpkins, of course. fun activities for all. I definitely have to say here too, they have expanded a lot. So they have expanded a lot here. Now, of course, we did go in the haunted house. We had a few laughs, Ryan and I. A couple old portraits were on the wall, which of course I was in awe about. I was like, oh, look, an old photo here and there. But, you know, it's a fun haunted house. The kids can go in it too. It's not too scary. It's kind of cheesy, but I like it. It's good fun. They even updated some things in the haunted house to kind of give it a haunted mansion-esque feel to it, which I thought was actually pretty cool indeed in comparison to last time that I went in. So they upped their game on that too, which I thought was cool. They have added quite a bit. So they still, of course, do have the pumpkin eater. The pumpkin eater, that is the dinosaur that eats the pumpkins, of course. There were tons of people crowded around during that time here too. And again, their website is goberts.com. So goberts.com. .com is their website. Yeah, Monday through Friday, $19 per person. Saturday and Sunday, $25 per person. If you have kids 2 and under, they get in for free. And these are still going on now until October 31st. Now, I want to see if I can find some pictures of the latest that they have updated here too, because I want to show it to you. Of course, nothing beats actually just going there too and being able to see it for yourself. Of course, they have the big chair there that people can sit in. They have a carousel too, which is nice, an enclosed carousel. They have other markets there as well that you can check out too. Of course, their haunted house. They have a nice kids play area for the kids to go to. And I'd have to say here too, one of the things that really stood out to me also, they have added an entirely new playground. I'm hoping maybe I can find a picture here somewhere. They've got the magician's truck there. So they have the magician show. There it is in the background. Yeah, so they did have it 2 years. So it was 2 years ago. Yeah, it's been a couple of years since I went. So those of you who probably are aware that they probably did update. But I haven't been since they did update it. So yeah, it does look like I did miss a couple years then going. I think maybe then the last time I went was 2019, I think. So it's, wow, it's really 5 years. I could have sworn maybe I went in 2023, but I guess not maybe. I don't know. Or 2022? I don't think so. So yeah, then it's been about 5 years because they have this new park play area here that they did not have before. They also have a new village area for the kids to go into. So they have like a little bank. They have like a little diner. It's like a little play area. They're like little mini buildings that the kids can go in and, you know, play diner. And they have like the jail and things like that too. So they updated some of that, which I thought was really cool. And it's kind of like a little downtown square area. They have like a little gazebo in the middle. They have like fake grass, like tarp, which I think is pretty cool because that was not there the last time that I went. So they have definitely updated quite a bit. They also did have some food trucks there too. So they did have some food trucks. They had a like a milk truck so you could get ice cream. They had of course, coffee truck, which is actually they're stationed in Geneva, but they were there. I don't know if they're there for the season or if they were there just for maybe the week. But I, of course, got a coffee. Ryan and I got a coffee, which was very good. We enjoyed it. It was a cold brew pumpkin coffee. So I thought that was pretty cool because last time when we went there, I'm thinking it really was 2019, I think was the last time we went. They didn't have those. So we were like, I don't think they had iced coffee the last time we went, but they had this time. And you're like, really? It's just iced coffee, but it totally makes it, you know, the experience. But anyways, they also updated the outside of the haunted house a little bit towards the right-hand side of the entrance. They added a little bit more scenery there too, which I thought was pretty cool compared to last time. So I would definitely say they have updated quite a bit with this. They, of course, has the really nice train rides that you can go on to. Of course, they have the petting zoo area, which was packed. There were a lot of people there. The lines were very long. We didn't go on the hayride just because the lines were so long. I mean, it was like hundreds of people in line waiting, which I guess is good. It means that people were really excited to get on out. And I would say so too. Probably this year is probably the year when I would say a lot of people are starting to really like feel comfortable going out after the peak of COVID and things like that too. And that definitely was very much seen at Gobert's Farm yesterday. It was really, really busy, but we had a great time. It was very nice. We definitely enjoyed it. Also seeing the cute little scenery of things, like they have the cute little house. They have the Gobert's house at the main entrance, which is cute. You can pose, of course, in the character cutouts. They have some fun games to play, so it's definitely very fun. And I would say they have, again, with the updates, definitely added a lot for kids to do, a lot more stuff for kids to do. Yeah, so the park is updated too. It's beautiful. They have a nice park area. They still have the classics from when I was a kid here. They have the nice little wooden ship. They have the big slides that you can go on here too. They have the little saloon area, the Pumpkin Express Saloon. They've got, of course, the carousels there too. I also like going into the shop as well, the market, just looking around, seeing all the different jams and jellies that they have. You can get like pumpkin butter, pumpkin spice candles. You can get, they have a bunch of Gobert's Farm merchandise now too, which I didn't see the last time I went. They have a bunch of different t-shirts, hats, scarves, and more. So they have definitely expanded quite a bit here. So I definitely recommend going, totally worth it, especially if you have younger kids. It's definitely going to be a lot of fun for them too. They had a band also playing outside towards the middle. They had a nice tent up and they had a band playing in there too. So definitely more stuff to do than how I even remember it in the past. So they've definitely added a lot of fun stuff. Lots of people were there, smiling faces, and it was a really great time. So, and it was quite windy outside though, but we definitely had a good time. So if you want to check out more information, they are located at 42W813 Ranking Road in Pingree Grove. You can check out more information on their website. That is goberts.com. Of course, they had delicious apple cider donuts, which we brought home, which was very good. We didn't go to the apple orchard, but we did kind of stay within the pumpkin patch area, checking out the attractions, walking around a lot. So we definitely got our exercise in, and across the nice bridge area, which was not too long ago, recently updated as well. So it was a good time. I enjoyed it for sure. So definitely a good place to go to. And again, if you really want to go, with the family, the kids are definitely going to enjoy it. Absolutely. So that's my little testimonial there. If you want to check them out, had a good time. Nice time walking around and enjoying my coffee and donuts. We also got, they had Italian sausage there too. So they did have a couple food trucks. You could get, I think you could, they had a food truck that was pretzels, so you could get pretzels. And then they also had, again, they also had some other food trucks there too, which again, in the past, I don't really ever remember them having food trucks. It was mainly just their main food area where they had a very select menu. This time with the food trucks there were a wider range of different food options that you could get to. So definitely a hot spot to go to, quite busy on the weekends, but definitely a lot of fun. The time is 10:47. We're going to take a quick time out. We'll be back with more Out to Lunch with WRMN AM 1410 here in just a bit. So, of course, stay tuned. right, welcome back, folks, to Out to Lunch with WRMN AM 1410. Broadcasting live here from downtown Elgin, serving the Fox River Valley. If you want to take a look at our website, we are WRMN AM 1410. WRMN1410.com is the website to go to. Of course, you can listen to us live through the AM 1410 dial. You can also watch us live on YouTube.com at WRMN Radio. If you would like to subscribe to our YouTube channel and like the video and click the notification bell, you are free to do that. Doesn't cost you anything. You can keep in the loop with what's happening here on WRMN and what's going on within the Fox River Valley. Of course, you can also follow us on Facebook, Instagram. You can also listen to us through the app, which always comes in nice and clear. That's available in the App Store for Apple users, iOS users, and also on Google Play for the Samsung users out there as well. This is WRMN 1410, celebrating 75 years of community broadcasting. You can check out more information on our website, WRMN1410.com. During the last minutes that we have here before we kick it off to the 11 o'clock hour, of course, I want to touch base with the local libraries. There's lots of things happening at the libraries pretty much every day that you can, of course, follow along with and check out. Have a good time, of course, something for everyone. So, of course, the biggest thing that we've got going on coming up in November is the 5K run and walk. That is the skeleton trot in honor of the Dia de los Muertos, Day of the Dead. That is coming up November 2nd. So you can still register. I do believe registration is open until, I believe, October 16th. Let me double check just to make sure. Let me see here. So the registration, yeah, so it's 11 days until registration is closed. So let's see, 7th, 8th, 17th. So the 17th, I believe, or maybe it's the 17th or 18th for registration. It does say 11 more days until registration is closed. So just want to throw that out there. Yep. Okay. Last day of registration is October 18th. So you still have time to register if you would like. Make some plans to be a part of the kickoff of the skeleton trot or trot of the skeletons. The Gail Borden Library, for the first time ever, the Gail Borden Public Library District Foundation and the U46 Educational Foundation partnering together to offer this 5K fundraiser coming up November 2nd. So you still have time, of course, to sign up for that. Coming up here, Thursday, October 10th, there is going to be a Zoom meeting. And what it is actually, it's going to be a good meeting. It's relation to cash in on decluttering with expert organizer Jamie Novak. So this is a great way to help you to declutter. This is a great way to help you to keep things that you know you are going to love and cherish and use, and toss away things that you no longer need. So if you would like to register, I do believe it's still open. That is available on their website. So that is a cash in on decluttering. You can check out more information on their webpage. Gardening Can Be Murder is coming up here as a nice little Zoom event by Marta McDowell. This is coming up Monday, October 21st. She's an author on how poisonous poppies, sinister shovels, and grim gardens have inspired mystery writers. So diving a little bit into some of the gardening and how that has inspired many writers in mystery. Definitely putting the shovel into the dirt and unearthing some of that information, so to say. So that's coming up Monday, October 21st at 7 p.m. That's Gail Borden Public Library if you want to check them out. Coming up into later October, Halloween Boo Bash is coming up October 28th from 4:45 to 5:30. This is at the Raco Branch area. Ages 4 to 6. It's going to be just a fun, relaxing, good time Halloween party. Definitely fun and not supposed to be scary. It's going to be good for ages 4 to 6. So it's definitely going to be cute, fun, colorful Halloween. No registration is required. So if you want to try that out, that should be a good time for the kids to very much so enjoy. Also coming up here too, there are some kits available to celebrate the Day of the Dead. To honor our departed loved ones, you can pick up a paper frame kit and decorate it as a family, and they are going to be having that coming up October 18th. So the kits are limited, so please register to pick up starting October 18th. And they have that going on through till October 31st, where you can make frames. So that should be fun if you want to make some fun little frames there. Coming up Wednesday, October 16th at the Fox River Valley Public Library District. So this is Fox River Valley Public Library District at the Dundee Library. They're having for grades K to 3, they're having a monster sandwich. So this is a Foodie Kids Monster Sandwich. Kids can take over the kitchen in this hands-on snack making workshop. They make some delicious snacks every month. So if you want to check out more information on that, at frvpld.info/events is coming up. They also have here too the postings of their winners of the legendary creations of their mini masterpiece contest and art show that they had. So congratulations to the winners. Some people were able to make and paint little miniature art pieces, which is cool. That takes a lot of skill to do. I mean, these are absolutely beautiful. I mean, they're miniature. They're very small. And I have to say, it takes lots of precision, lots of pure focus in on the little brush strokes, using thin paint brushes and stuff. I mean, very well done indeed. So very cool. Thank you. They posted that. That's really cool. That's very cool. They had 85 mythical submissions, and they had 4 winners out of the 85. That is really, really cool. So very awesome, and congratulations to the winners for that. So there's a lot of course coming up here that you can also check out as well. Tuesday, October 15th at the Fox Valley, River Valley Dundee Library. They're having a homeschool hangout, which is good for kids who are homeschooled, grades 4 to 6. That's 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. So they've got that. They have a trivia night. They've got a lot of fun things to do, of course, within the area. So definitely some good stuff that you don't want to miss out on, and of course to enjoy as well too. This does wrap it up here for the 10 o'clock hour. Hopefully everyone's enjoying the time so far. When we come back, we've got some special guests coming in studio, so stay tuned for that, talking about a really cool event that happened not too long ago. Stay tuned. Again, you're listening to WRMN AM 1410, Voice of the Valley, Talk of the Town. Again, if you would like to take a look at our website, we are WRMN1410.com. That's WRMN1410.com. Don't forget, of course, we'll also be in our Tradio segment coming up around 12:30 or so. If you're interested in buying, selling, trading, and or announcing to the Fox River Valley area, that'll be coming up pretty soon. Stay tuned. We'll be back with more in just a bit. All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Out to Lunch with WRMN AM 1410, Voice of the Valley, Talk of the Town. Hopefully everyone is enjoying their day so far. It's a beautiful sunny Monday morning here. We're still in the morning time at 11:06 is currently the time right now. And we have a special hour segment that is going on during the 11 o'clock hour here. Now, of course, I want to start off by welcoming to the in-person studio here. We've got Jeff Myers here. How you doing today?
I'm delighted to be aboard. I'm happy to be in the same studio as you, young man. If I need to know what's going on in Elgin, I listen to you from 10 to 1. You tell me everything going on here on the radio.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
And everywhere.
I like to keep people in the loop and up to date.
And I get a little bit of Tradio as well.
Oh, yeah,
The
Tradio.
long-running Tradio show.
Tradio during the 12:30 segment for sure. Yes, absolutely. For those of you who know what happened yesterday.
It was, you tell me what happened yesterday.
It was the casino celebration.
Oh, we actually, here's what,
The boat.
And you set me up nicely there. Let's say hello to John Grahowski first. I missed my first cue.
Yes.
Well, take two. So John Grahowski on the phone line. Listen to this voice. He's been on WLS, WBBM. I will be quiet as we introduce the one and only John Grahowski. John?
Hey, Jeff. Hey, Matt. It's great to be on with you guys. And Jeff, of course, you and I go back years and years and years. I mean, we've been friends since we were 6 years old.
Oh, my. But yeah, great voice you have. We had similar voices in school. And one time, I think John made a wisecrack in 6th grade. I got sent outside to stand in the hallway and looking at Billy Tack's coat.
Oh, my goodness.
You remember that, don't you, John? Yeah.
Oh, well, there were two of us in the class with deep voices, and she couldn't pick which one it was. So Jeff's the one who got sent out in the hallway.
Oh, my goodness.
The longest 20 minutes of my life, I might add, John, years later. But you are the whiz, young man. We're so delighted you're here. You were here with us on July 16th when we had the 30th anniversary of the Elgin, the great casino going into the water. That was a great day. You were there. But yesterday there was a pre-party for the dignitaries. Dignitaries got a chance to look at the boat, be involved with it a little bit, and our own Steve Thorne was involved with that party. So on October 6th of 1994, the higher-ups went in, but then the media and everyone else, it was opening day 30 years ago today. That's what we have now. Yeah, that's how it goes, isn't it, John?
It is, and actually, I was invited to the Shishi event. Yeah, I did go on the evening of the 6th.
I think I lost mine in the mail. Now that I think about
it. Well, I was a Sun-Times casino columnist at the time. I was more involved with casinos than anybody else in the media. So they shuffled my invitation right to the top there, and I went in and got a sneak preview and looked around at the games as best I could. It was a big crowd. I played a little blackjack and got a little advanced preview on the 6th.
Hey, also we're on YouTube, so I just saw your history was posted. We're YouTube now. We're incredibly modern here at WRMN, and they saw your bio there, that the great writer you are. Yeah, I saw you that night, but you were in show mode, and you said, "Get away, Jeff. I got to work." But it was a great night. It was a fun night for me. I actually, I haven't been able to recall the man's name, but I was on the way out on this night, and you tell all your stories after that, John. We were waiting for, what was it, a 2-hour trip in those days. We did sail back in that opening day. And after the 2-hour venture, I turned to my right and I said, wait a minute, I just saw you on the Eveready battery commercial. You are an actor. He said, yes, that's me. And I've got a cousin here in Elgin. He was an Englishman. He since has passed away, but he did many movies. And he was the Eveready battery man in a very authoritative way. Leave the rabbit alone. Like that. That commercial was running in October of 1994. It's just one of those moments. Gosh, you look familiar. Either way, you went with my story. But it was a wonderful time. So that was my big story. I'll be quiet now. That's my big story from opening night. We did have fun. In those days, downstairs, they had all kinds of games as well, and playing things to do. Now they have, it's pretty much all poker downstairs, isn't it now, sir? Don't they have a
Right,
poker
yeah, they
championship?
turned that over to a poker room when Illinois legalized poker. Poker was not one of the legal games when the casinos first opened in Illinois, and but eventually they legalized poker. And when poker got so popular and the World Poker Tour was on television all the time and all that, then Illinois went with the flow and legalized poker. And Grand Victoria was one of the early adopters among the local casinos. It was tough, because there was a limit of 1,200 gaming positions per license, and the really profitable stuff for the casinos are the slot machines.
Yeah,
and it was a really, really difficult decision. Do we go with poker, which is so popular? Do we make the space for that, and perhaps have to lose some of our space for slot machines? So it was something that they struggled with for a long time.
and now because different management, but they have the poker championships for the nation on Grand Victoria, do they not? They have major events in a downstairs venue and more.
They do have major events downstairs. Yeah. They're it remains very, very popular. It's not on television all the time on ESPN like World Poker Tour was for a while. But that's pre-recession. That 2008-2009 recession changed the whole landscape for casinos, for poker, for lots of different things.
John, outline how you got involved. I know it's your involvement with the Chicago Sun-Times. They were looking for somebody as the great modern day. Everything was the boats and casinos, and you were asked to come up with a concept through the Sun-Times, and you did. Is that right?
Yeah. What happened here is that this is right at the beginning of 2004, and I had done Las Vegas-oriented travel pieces for the travel section of the Sun-Times before that. My main job was as a copy editor in the sports department. But I always wrote on the side. I could do both. I could both write and I could edit, and I liked to write, and so I wrote for different sections. And over the course of my Sun-Times career, I wrote for almost every section in the newspaper.
Wow!
But I had done some travel stories for Jack Schnedler, and who was the travel editor in the travel section on Las Vegas. And so early in 2004, the managing editor sent out a memo to many people on the staff that said, hey, look, we have a lot of casinos around here. We have to find a way to get consumer information about gambling into the newspaper. She asked for ideas. And I said, you should do a weekly column. Here's what should be in it. Here's how you should do it. And she said that was the only serious response she got, so go do it. And
it pays to pay attention.
Other people were submitting ideas like, never bet on red or whatever. They just flip ideas. And I gave her a serious response, and she said, okay, go do it.
That's great.
And, it turned out to be a great thing for me. That column ran a long time. It ran in the Sun-Times until 2011.
Wow.
And I kept writing it for other publications all the way up until the end of last year. Wow. So I wrote that weekly column and sometimes twice weekly column from
That's
1994 until the end of 2023.
And last time we talked with you in July, you reminded us you're the casino man. You have many, many books on the dossier, don't you, about gaming?
I do have a number of books. There was one. I was just looking at one the other day. It was the first one was self-published. It was called Gaming, Cruising the Casinos with John Grahowski. That was a collection of my Sun-Times columns. But after that, I landed with Bonus Books in Chicago and wrote several books for them. They broken down into various games: the video poker answer book, the slot machine answer book, the craps answer book. So that all in all, I had 6 books in print, and
wow.
And they did nice things. And they were very well received. I just saw a little while back that my video poker book was listed on somebody's site as one of the 20 best books in the history of gambling. So,
congratulations.
it was, yeah.
And your brother Jay has become quite a writer later in life, hasn't he?
Jay's written a couple of novels, and I think he's just wrapping up his third one, I think.
Wow.
So he's published through Amazon, I believe.
Ooh, congratulations on that.
but yeah, he's written a couple of novels. He turned to writing late in life. You know, he's a sales guy and spent most of his life selling office equipment.
Great. He's very versatile, though, because he's the greatest athlete in the history of Lisle High School.
He is. He was a tremendous athlete. He was much more of an athlete than I ever was. You know, I just telling people the other day that. You know, Jay owns all kinds of records in all kinds of sports at Lisle High School.
Wow, that's great.
He was a quarterback of a football team that was unbeaten in the regular season and won to play a game in the state playoffs before they ran into a powerhouse from Geneseo. He was a leading scorer on the basketball team. He was a state qualifier in track and the triple jump, and he was and in baseball, he's the best baseball player they ever had and wound up being the captain of the Indiana baseball team.
Great.
He did all these things athletically. What I did athletically I played a little football for Lisle, but my letter is actually in debate. So
wow.
we were different animals entirely.
That's great. That's great. I played a little baseball there. It was fun to play baseball at Lisle High School. So it was always fun. Indeed.
No, you were a tremendous baseball player, Jeff. You were a great shortstop. Until Jay came around, you were in the team picture for one of the best that Lisle ever had.
Oh, that's very sweet of you to say. I'm getting humble right now. I might have to weep. So we've got the phone lines open, do we not? We can open those phone lines.
Yes, absolutely. We actually have a caller now.
Let's get to it. John's popular.
Good morning, Jeff. How are you?
Hey, I'm great. How are you?
Good. It's George Rollinson. So, Jeff, I got a promo yesterday. I heard John was going to be on the show today. And I thought, and John, the first thing that came to mind when I heard your name was Pete Rose, because you're a gambling guru. And, of course, Pete Rose will forever be associated with gambling on baseball. Now, John, I was never a big Pete Rose guy, but do you think that there's some hypocrisy involved in keeping him out of the Hall of Fame? And if anybody has an interesting perspective on this question, it would be you, especially now where we're inundated. MLB stadiums are all catering to gambling on baseball. There are gambling booths affiliated with these major league stadiums. Caesars has got a book, I think. Who's at Wrigley Field? Somebody's at Wrigley Field. So is there hypocrisy involved in the whole thing with Pete Rose and keeping him out of the Hall of Fame?
George, I'm so sorry. I accidentally dropped him by mistake.
Oh, John's gone?
Yeah, hang on a sec. Hopefully,
right.
if John, I'll make sure to call him back.
I got to go through that whole preface.
Well, I guess
my
so.
goodness.
That wraps up the show right there. So long, everybody. That was wonderful. Yeah, unless you put him on hold, we lose John.
I'll put you on hold real quick, and we'll make sure to call him back here.
Our special, as we look back, and again, other folks can call in. If you were there that opening night, an opening night for the Grand Victoria was October 7th of 1994. I was there. Mayor Van der Voort and family cut the ribbon outside on that day. Mayor Van der Voort, of course, it was a 4-3 final for the vote as far as technical council voting. So he was able to do that, and it was a proud day earlier that same year when it went into the water. So Mayor Van der Voort gets great credit for that. He was your Elgin mayor from 1987 to 1995. We get John Grochowski back here. We'll tell him that we have about a 2-minute question when we get him back from you, George. We can hold you for a couple minutes, can't we, George? George? All right, we can do that. We're working the phone lines here. But anybody else there that day want to tell some stories? That's great. Steve Thorne told the story the night before, and it was a festive night for me. We had the video camera there. I had no problem videotaping from at that time, the Elgin Week in Review, what was going on, people inside, people chatting, even some of the gaming device. It was a fun night all the way and very historic for the city of Elgin, and really roared with some great moments over the next several years for the Grand Victoria in Elgin. They were kind of disappointed with the Grand Victoria, the folks were at that time, because they wanted to name it the Elgin or something along those lines. John Grochowski back by the magic of radio, put together with the phone. We got George Rollinson's here, and we got everybody connected. George Rollinson's got a 2-minute question for you, John.
Okay.
John, I'm going to give you the Reader's Digest version of my question because it had a 2-minute preface that I was putting out there. But when I saw a promo yesterday that you were going to be on the air today. And the first thing that I thought of when I heard your name was Pete Rose. And with Pete Rose passing 2 weeks ago, I think it's a reminder personally of baseball's hypocrisy toward gambling. I was never, as I mentioned in my extended preface on my previous call, John, I was never a Pete Rose guy, but it seems hypocritical to me. Baseball and baseball stance on gambling seems hypocritical, but keeping Pete Rose out of the Hall of Fame seems hypocritical. And I thought, you know what? Nobody would have a more interesting perspective on this question than you, John. So that's my question. Is there a hypocrisy involved in keeping Rose out of the Hall of Fame? And is there a hypocrisy involved in baseball's affiliation with gambling?
You know, I'm really torn on this. You know, because Pete Rose, it's posted in every locker room and has been since the Black Sox scandal that gambling is illegal. Gambling on baseball, as far as baseball is concerned, the players and managers, anyone associated with baseball, can't gamble on baseball. He gambled on baseball. He gambled on games that he had some control over. He was a manager, and he gambled on his own team. It raises a question about his decision making. Does he use that relief pitcher, one game too many because he needs this game to settle a bet now? All these questions are there. On the other hand, baseball is really hypocritical on this issue. They opposed legalization of sports gambling for generations, and they adamantly fought against it right up until the point the Supreme Court made its decision that states had, other than Nevada and New Jersey, had to be given the opportunity to legalize gambling when New Jersey brought the lawsuit. Sports gambling in Nevada had been grandfathered in when the Bradley bill was passed that made sports gambling illegal on a federal basis. Right. Major League Baseball opposed overturning the Bradley law right up until the day the Supreme Court made its decision. And then as soon as the Supreme Court decision was made and states started to legalize sports gambling, baseball and other Major League sports jumped in with both feet, and suddenly there are official gambling sponsors of this team and especially official gambling sponsors of that league, and it's just a total turnaround, and that definitely, to me, smacks of hypocrisy.
Crazy. And, John, I know this is not gambling per se, but you're so well-versed in so many things. What about people like, we're talking Hall of Fame, Barry Bonds, Rafael Palmeiro, Roger Clemens, Sammy Sosa, in or out?
Again, that's an issue I'm really torn about. It's baseball did not at the time that they did all that. Baseball had not made steroid use and HGH use illegal at that point under baseball rules. Now, some of that was illegal under federal law. So it's a very, very difficult issue. They are some of the best and some of the most famous people in baseball history. Baseball certainly took advantage of their skills, when early on, before the tide started to turn against steroid use, and it became more widely known. Baseball had its pull, Chig the long ball campaign when the Sosa McGuire home run race was going on.
Absolutely.
So this is again an issue, and Bud Selig was tipped off on this. The press did cover this. I've heard from people about the press being slow on the draw on uncovering steroid use, but they did. They were on it. They reported it. They reported to Bud Selig, and Bud Selig chose to shrug it off. So. Yeah. It again seems hypocritical of me to Major League Baseball to make for the Hall of Fame to make these players ineligible, actually the Hall of Fame did not make them ineligible. The writers refused to vote them in, and the old-timers
John, on a personal note, I'm talking about the hypocrisy of Major League Baseball.
There's some hypocrisy here, certainly, that baseball was perfectly willing to take advantage of their skills when they knew what they were doing, and now wants little to do with them.
And we were hypocritical as fans, too, because everybody knew in '98 when Sosa and McGuire had that great home run race, I was up every time Sammy Sosa hit a home run, I was up cheering. I loved Sammy Sosa. But we all knew there was something going on. I mean, you remember him when he played with the White Sox and he had that long, lean body, and all of a sudden he's Mr. the Incredible Hulk. You knew something was changing, but we wanted those home runs. We wanted that excitement, and they
certainly had bulked up, and you started to get fluke home run totals a little bit earlier than that when Brady Anderson hit his 50 home runs. Brady Anderson was not a 50 home run type player. Yeah, but suddenly there he was.
Yeah. Jeff, why don't you tell the story of Sam Musial's last Major League Baseball hit?
That evened it out, 3-6, 3-0. It was halfway, 50-50. Mo Dabrowski, is it Mo?
Well, his last hit was against the Cincinnati Reds.
Oh, the Reds. Yeah.
And it was a ground ball
past Rose.
Baseman.
That's right.
By the name of Pete Rose. And it was a passing of the baton because Sam Musial at that time was the all-time hits leader in the National League. So you've got his last hit going
by
past
Rose,
this rookie second baseman who would eventually break his record.
Wow, that's great. For young Rose, Pete Rose.
Symmetry.
Yeah, it's a great career. We're losing everybody, it seems like. Our major names, a lot of passaways here from show business and sports in recent times, and they seem like they should be young.
Don Gullett passed away just
my gosh.
Earlier this year.
Yeah, it's amazing with that, and it's just a darn shame with that. But you're right, Pete Rose, a lot of consideration with them, and now folks will be more thinking that they might be able to do something about him. Did you ever meet Pete Rose, John Grohowski? Did you ever meet Pete Rose?
No, I did not ever meet Pete Rose.
I know our good friend Mike Lawrence, who used to work here for many years and did card shows. Pete was always, no promo, get it out of my face, stuff like that. So he was always aggressive with that. But he certainly was Whitey Ford with that nickname, Whitey Ford, Mickey Mantle coming up with a Charlie Hustle, I guess, when he went high in the air playing left field or outfield or tried to get a fly ball and also hustled the first base. So he certainly had a tremendous career, did he not, George?
He did, and I'll let you go, Jeff. I've taken enough of your time. My only caveat for this call is I wish John were on the air more often. So interesting and so entertaining, and your knowledge is unprecedented. So,
thank you very much. That's very kind of you.
Please, we'd love to have you.
Yeah, that's a great thought. We'll work on that. I'm going to do more radio in the future. Certainly, John could be involved with that as well. How about that for an early statement?
Okay.
All right.
Thanks,
George Wellinson. George, were you there opening day? Were you there at the boat? George?
No, I was not.
Where were you? That was before your time in Elgin, wasn't it?
I was working in Chicago. I was working for the city of Chicago. I was probably doing some mischievous work-related or non-work-related thing for the city of Chicago.
Well, when you said Chicago, we know what that means when you said Chicago. All right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks, George. Yeah, I don't think George arrives until like 1996, 97, thereabouts. Yeah, that's. Thank you, George. Appreciate that. Again, phone lines. So long. Phone lines are open if you want. Isn't that right, Matt?
It is, yes. 847-931-1410.
There, looks like you could be like a weekly show, John. John Grohowski reporting. Something like that.
I did weekly for a while at WCKG. I did a weekly casino talk show, which was fun. It was great while it lasted.
And you did a WBBM minute for many years, didn't you?
I did. And for years on WBBM, and then for a couple of years afterward on WLSAM. Yeah.
And it was basically gaming 1 minute, was it not, sir?
It was just 1 minute. I would. Mike, they built it around it. They sold it to a sponsor, and basically in the minute there was 20 seconds of the sponsor and 40 seconds of me rambling with a gambling.
Oh my heavens, that must have been great! I remember every time I would hear it, I'd pull into the driveway. I got to hear John, and 40 seconds later I was on my way. No, that's great stuff. You've done some wonderful things. We talked about that last time in your career, of course, and that appearance in July of 2000 on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire is something all of our area can be proud of. You represented us so well.
Well, thank you. That was an incredible experience. We just had a great time. My wife went with me to New York, Marcy, and she and I. They gave us airfare and hotel for two. And when we arrived, and they briefed us a little bit about what was going to be happening the next day, and that they handed me an envelope with $3 $50 bills on it. So we had a little walking around money to walk around in New York. So
that's great.
It was fun. It was a great time. And we went to a couple of really nice restaurants. We went to the American Museum of Natural History. You know me, Jeff. I was always a dinosaur kid.
That's right. That's great.
I'm a dinosaur adult too. I love dinosaurs. But
yeah.
We went and saw the dinosaur collection at the American Museum of Natural History. And then the show, of course, was a dream, and I won $125,000, so it was a double dream.
That's great. And you knew the $250,000 question, but you went conservative, isn't that right?
I did. That is correct. And I said on the air that hey, look, I think the answer is this, but if I get this wrong, I'm down to $32,000. I'm going to play it safe here, and I took the 125, and I would have been correct. Yeah.
Wow, that's quite a moment. Mario Calero, who's a Beacon Academy grad, South Elgin High School, I think on the daytime edition, missed the $30,000 question, went home with $5,000. But Mario is the greatest technician in the history of radio, and he this year Mario, who lives in Elgin, was when the Super Bowl was on, and it was on Nickelodeon. He did the Nickelodeon. He was the man in the studio putting all those extra things for the kids to watch the Super Bowl on Nickelodeon. He's a once-in-a-lifetime talent. He is tremendous. If there's a game going on somewhere, he's doing something with it. He's been a great representation, like you, for our area. But he stopped. Well, I don't know what the question was. What was your question that you said no to, that you didn't want to do? What was your question?
It was the...
we'll have Matt answer it. Matt will answer it here today. All right, go ahead.
Question was about the scientist whose work indicated that the universe was expanding.
Wow, Matt.
Oh, goodness.
Matt?
I don't know.
You're a proud ECC grad. This should be easy for you.
Oh, my goodness. You're putting me on the spot.
All right, John. What was the official? You knew the answer, but you wanted to make sure you took home that 125, didn't you?
It was Hubble.
Hubble.
The man they named the Hubble Space Telescope.
No, Hubble. We could have almost came up with that, couldn't we? Matt? Hubble. Wasn't Hubble the name of that?
Yeah, I did say on the air that I thought the answer was Hubble, but I did.
I would have answered that question this way. That was the name of the man in that movie that we made so famous. Same time, whatever it was a movie where it's Hubble, and you know that. But we wish we had more time to talk about that. Bruce is thinking yeah, we're very Hubble. Yeah, we're very Hubble here at WRMN. Well said. Hubble. That's it.
So
The Way We Were, the movie, The Way We Were, his name is Hubble.
Oh, really?
Yeah, look, watch it tonight. Yeah, look that up. I know they call him Hubble because I can hear it said.
It's from the 70s? Is that right?
1973 movie, isn't it, John? The Way We Were?
That sounds about right.
Can you sing the song, the theme song? Can you sing that, John?
Oh, gosh. I
can do the beginning.
Sort of hum the melody, but I can't.
The very beginning goes, ooh, ooh, ooh. That's the beginning. The Way We Were. Barbra Streisand, coming to you right here.
Barbra Streisand, yes.
Yeah, but she played it, and Hubble was the man. All right. Again, we have phone lines open. We actually are talking about a lot of things with John because that's the way it is. With John, The Way We Were. It's Barbra Streisand, we should say Robert Redford, of course. And all that good thing came your way. I saw that, I think, in Macomb, Illinois, during our Western Illinois days. Did you see The Way We Were, John? Or were you busy at University of Illinois?
I'm sure I was busy. I don't recall having seen it, no.
You haven't seen it since?
I have.
Have you been?
I don't think.
Have you been in storage now for 50 years?
Probably.
Yeah.
But, it's funny. Doing what I did for all those years, I worked nights in the sports department for various newspapers, and eventually 29 years for the Sun-Times. So my habits and entertainment habits were different than normal people. Because
I can imagine.
My nights were taken up.
Yeah.
And including weekends. I don't know that I had a Saturday night off in 35 years.
Wow.
Some scheduled things,
sure.
Holidays and stuff, but vacations. But basically, sports. Working in sports, it's too big a sports night. Saturday
sure.
night is.
Yeah.
So
we seldom have a Friday night off because of games and things like that, of course. So
now, for a while, there were times that I worked in other departments. I transferred out of sports and did something else for a little while, and then went back. But and in those years, I actually had weekends off.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I was a sports guy, and you have a Saturday night where you have the Cubs and you have the White Sox and you have college football going on, you have high school football going on, and nobody's going to get those nights off when you work in a sports department.
Yeah, it's a full set. No question about that.
Yeah.
We talk with John Grahowski again. He was. We look back to 30 years ago today when the Grand Victoria Casino, with much pageantry, a ribbon cutting at least on that day, not as much pageantry as there was on July 16th when it went into the water. But Mayor Vanderborn clipped that, and we're just wondering if anybody might have a story or two that could give us a call on that if they were there that night. John was there. I was there. And John, you told us last time, didn't you lose something fell off your table, went to somebody else's table?
I was playing blackjack.
Uh-huh.
And, it's sampling big games as best I could. It was a big crowd.
On this night, an opening night here in Elgin.
Yeah. And I was playing blackjack, and I went to place a bet, and in the process, one of my chips flipped onto its end and rolled away from me, and it rolled right onto a woman's stack right next to me.
Wow.
And I had to have dealer help to retrieve my chip. The dealer,
Is that right?
Fortunately, the dealer saw it, and yes, that is his money.
That's great. We're going to go to Matt. Matt, do you believe that story? Or he's trying to get that chip from that woman. That's a great story, John. A rolling chip started the opening night.
That's I went back the following week. I went back in the daytime unannounced because I really like to be able to move around the casino and look at all the games and see what slot machines they have, what rules are posted at the blackjack table, because blackjack has a mix and match set of rules. You don't have precisely the same game in any two casinos. So I look at the blackjack rules, I look at the craps rules where there's some differences, I look at the video poker pay tables, and I have to be able to move around at a point that it's not just packed in order to do it. So the opening night was fun. It was great. It was high energy. It was a big crowd, but it wasn't designed for the kind of thing that I had to do for my column.
And what did you write that opening night? What caught your eye so much, the opening night column?
I think that I don't remember it because it is the column itself, and I don't have a copy of it here. I looked last night to see if I did, but I think probably what I wrote about was that it was more of a big casino feel than anything else we'd seen from the other boats. It felt more like being in the kind of land-based casino I'd been in Nevada, because they put almost all the gaming positions on a single floor. It was a longer boat than the other boats were. Yeah. The other boats were built 2, 3, and 4 stack decks, and divided the gaming positions on one deck, and one of the other boats might be 300, 350 gaming positions. Well, at Grand Victoria, there was 1,000 gaming positions plus on one floor, and you could wander around and stretch your legs up and down and look over the games. It felt much more like being in a regular casino than the other boats did. And they still, John, we're going to go to the phone call in a minute. They still had that downstairs where they had some gaming downstairs. They did have some games
downstairs. Because I remember I ended up down there, and it was kind of cute. Phone call there, Matt?
Yes, welcome to the show.
Hello, caller. Hello.
Jeff.
Hey. Is that you, George?
Jeff, I hate to monopoly. Yes,
No, that's all right. We often call it the George Rawlinson show, so it's okay. It's all right.
I don't know if I'm going to get a chance to talk to John again.
I know.
I have a question that's been kind of nagging at me a little bit. And John, I'm sure, has some insight into this. So, John, when Michael Jordan retired in 1993, he said it was, the great Chicago Bull. He retired because he needed a break, and, of course, his father, this was in the shadow of his father's murder. But there was always that conspiracy theory, John, that Jordan's retirement was a secret suspension for gambling, and rumors circulating that David Stern, the then commissioner, initiated that suspension. Your thoughts on that?
Wow.
It's, Michael Jordan did gamble, and he was he gambled on golf. He gambled in the high limit rooms at the area casinos. But whether I believe that there was any secret suspension, I'm dubious. He's not the only one among pro athletes who gambled. Now, they're not supposed to gamble on their own sports, and there was never any suggestion that he did that. If there had been any suggestion that he gambled on his own sport, then yeah, I would believe that probably there was something involved there. But I don't think so.
Thank you, John. You put another
Jordan was never an ideal, perfect icon. Personally, like some people wanted to build him up as. He was a human being, and he did have his flaws, and he did gamble. But as far as doing anything that would cause the NBA to say this is our biggest drawing card and we're going to drum out of the league for a year, no, I don't think that happened.
All right. Thanks, George.
Thank you, Jeff.
Jan, good to hear from you. We'll have a new show we have in format. It's called the John Grahowski, George Rollinson Show. Coming to you live. I like that. George is great now. George is a great writer. You know George is a great writer, too, for many years, newspaper-wise.
Yeah, and we talked a lot when he was when we did this at the last time I was on with you.
He's got great knowledge and wonderful sports knowledge. There's no question he's a charming lad, and we appreciate all his great work over the years, and still continues to do that and be involved here occasionally with us. We like that, don't we, Matt?
Oh, absolutely. Of course.
John, anything we leave out now, particulars about the night of, since we won't look at this 30-year anniversary any other day, did we leave anything out? What you talked about what you saw initially, but anything surprise you? How about that?
I don't, I pretty much knew what was there. They had prepped me beforehand as to what was there. So the biggest thing for me was just the sheer size of the boat. Now remember we had the cruise regulations those days. The boat actually had to go out on the water, and there were bridges up and down the river that the boat was too big to go under.
Yeah.
So the cruises were very short. It would go a short distance upriver.
The river gets very low up there. Yeah, they couldn't travel very far.
And back and forth. They couldn't travel any direction very far.
Yeah.
So they did that. The boat itself was special. It was different for the area, and that in putting all those gaming positions on the one level. Another thing that was different is that they set that from the outset. They set themselves up as a premium property, and they had fewer low-limit slot machines. The table game bidding limits were higher than at most of the other casinos, and the number of table games was more. They were more invested in table games than other casinos.
Yeah.
Now slots are big profit centers, and so everybody else was maximizing slot space. Grand Victoria had a little fewer slots and figured that they could make it up in bigger play at the tables, and they did. They became, not immediately, but they became the dominant casino boat in the area. They were eventually, once they surpassed Harrah's, which had been the biggest moneymaker of the bunch. It was off and away, and they right before the 2008 recession, they had a year where they did more than $400 million in casino revenue for the year. Now that's just casino revenue. That doesn't include restaurants or anything else. And so, we're talking $350 million a month.
Yeah.
Nowadays, conditions have changed. And they do a third that. The recession happened. They took big bites out of everything. The building of the Rivers Casino in Des Plaines siphoned off revenue from everybody, and that's the dominant boat now. And then you also had the legalization of slot machines, 3 to 5 per facility at restaurants and truck stops and other places. And just you don't necessarily have to go to a casino anymore if you want to play a slot machine. So, among all that's really impacted the revenues for all the casino boats. Well, they're not boats anymore, really. Yes, Grand Victoria's on a boat, but it is
they still have water.
Often in time.
I'm not sure what the Copperfield Dam going down will do to the water level. They still have water as we talk to you in this point in history.
It's still there, but so much of it has gone either dockside or on land type facilities now. It's not the same as when they were cruising. The one casino in the area that still is huge revenue is Rivers. And if casinos had been legal in Chicago and Cook County from the very start, we would be looking at an entirely different landscape than we have today.
Yeah.
But they were not, and so these other communities got a chance. Elgin did, and Joliet did, and Aurora did. And certainly the Grand Victoria did great things for Elgin, and they've tried hard, worked hard to be a good neighbor and to support the community, and they contribute not just their tax obligation, but they've contributed shares of the revenue to other things in the city of Elgin.
Yeah, they have. We're very proud and pleased that they did that as well. And also a money factor in such things as the Edward Schock Center of Elgin being built and an opening in 2002 and things of that nature. Some of the monies came from the Grand Victoria with that. How come the Rivers is so successful? Because it's right there off a main highway, I guess. You're right there, and it is in a pretty populated area.
That's right. It's close to an L stop. It's close to O'Hare. People with a stopover at O'Hare can take a shuttle over to Rivers. It is much closer to Chicago. It's just very, very well situated. The location is great, and that's not something that was possible when the first boats were going in the water in 1992, 93, 94.
The Aurora situation, they moved from two small boats downtown. I don't know if they've officially opened yet, but they went west to Randall Road. How do you think about that concept in Aurora?
I think that's. I have some pause about moving out of downtown, but on the other hand, getting off the smaller boats at one larger facility is going to be a great thing for them.
Because the original concept for the 10 license was to take care of my town struggling downtown, was it not? Aurora and Elgin were prime examples of that. The two boats in Aurora were fun. I think I told you last time I was able to lights, camera, action. Let's get aboard. I had 39 weeks of solid work with them. I was making $20 an hour. I thought it was the most. I thought I finally made the big time. This is 1997, but they didn't file any taxes for me, so I paid it all back the next year. But I think if I worked here every night, I'd be making $40,000 a year.
But you look at the Aurora boats were a prime example. City of Lights 1 and City of Lights 2, and they were nice. They did a good job on them, but they were very short, stem to stern.
They're small. They're small.
They're very small, and one was, I believe, 3 levels, and the other was 4 decks, and so you're putting, you split. You only have 600 gaming positions roughly on each boat. It isn't necessarily a totally even split, and then you're splitting it among 3 decks or 4 decks. You're really talking less than 200 gaming positions per deck, and that was a just much different experience than walking onto Grand Victoria, where you had 1,000 on just the main deck.
When they did leave those boats, they stayed at the same site, and they had an indoor one that was very nice. You probably have seen that as well before they went west. They left those boats, and it was very attractive in a big, glamorous way that way. John Grahowski with us. John Grahowski, of course. Tell me when you were doing those 1-minute gaming things with like WBBM, did you go to the studio? Did you record it at home? How'd you do that?
I did go to the studio. I'd write them at home, and I had them timed pretty well. I knew what 40 seconds was going to be, and I would do 6 of them at a time. I'd write 6 of them and then go in and record them and see you in 6 weeks. It was just logistics. What was funny, going into the casino, or into the studio, I had to have someone let me in. I was not an employee, so I didn't have an ID pass to get in. Somebody had to come get me and then show me up to the studio and rinse and repeat. It was really nice then when I worked at WCKG. Which was, and I became an employee, 1 day a week. I became an employee. I had my card that got me in to where I could just go up to the WCKG, and WBBM was a sister station. It was in the same place, so I could just let myself in to go to record those then too. So
wonderful.
That was fun. That just a little thing that was fun for me.
Through the magic of radio and YouTube, we're looking at a photo right now on YouTube that would be a picture of the Grand Victoria, kind of an angle. Again, we've talked about this many times. We were atop the movie theater that's now gone, the Crocker. Right. That's where we did our time on that opening day. It was a great view, and we didn't collapse or fall through the Crocker, but it wasn't in use in those days, so it was kind of an interesting thing. But we're seeing that, and it looks pretty good in retro with that. As we talk with John Grahowski, we can't go wrong. John, I interrupted you. What were you telling me? You had another thought for me? Did you, John?
What are we doing now?
Yeah. You had another thought? If not,
you mentioned the movie theater. Which
the Crocker.
A great thing. They tried really hard to
revamp
be
it.
An entertainment center for the community. For the community, and give them things that they needed. Which was very cool.
Oh, no, it's incredible with that. Some of the great downtown things of that nature that we have. As we talk with you again, YouTube, getting all kinds of information coming your way. It's great. This YouTube is supplementing us like we're not only just radio geeks. We're seeing video pictures, and your picture, John, was on quite a bit. So that's what you're seeing John Grahowski, not right now, but you have earlier in this. Matt, we appreciate you giving us this time. You're a busy guy. You have a 3-hour window. Is that right?
I do, yes. Yep.
From you love that, don't you?
I do.
Were you schooled to be a radio man?
I was not. I actually became interested really kind of from my dad because he did.
Oh, yeah, he was here for many years. And he was a great shopping show man and you did a great job with that, no question about that. You're a theatrical kid, aren't you?
Very much so theatrical, yes.
Do something theatrical for us.
Oh, my goodness.
Don't you think, John? We're going right now.
That sounds, sure.
Something theatrical?
Yeah,
oh my
like to be or not to be. Give us a good you're an ECC play. Give us one line.
I didn't do ECC
Did you give us your most recent presentation?
Well, it would have been The Music Man.
All right. Sing a song if you have to.
Light a rose, I'm home again, Rose. That's all I'm doing.
That's good. That's good.
There we go.
Yeah, we might have to have ASCAP with that, but that's all right. And you were extra in the movie that was shot here, the For Profit.
For Profit, yep. It was filmed in June.
So you were seen, weren't you? You were seen.
I was seen in a couple scenes. Yep, they even had one here in the studio, of course.
Yeah.
That was just an amazing experience. Mark Stewart Iverson, the director, was just phenomenal, just a genius, and
he was great.
The cast was just amazing. Everyone was so nice. Everyone was taken care of. It was just such a fun time to be on set too. Even in the longer times of waiting, it was like so interesting to see everything that was going on too. Seeing the camera work, seeing them switch from one scene to another, and how much time it takes to even just film a minute scene.
No question about that. That was if you see that For Profit, it was released here in Chicagoland a few months ago, and it really has played well. When they were here in the WRMN studio, the callers are in the movie. Yeah. And it's forever, and you see tremendous scenes, John, of the city of Belgium in that movie. So it was quite an amazing thing that was filmed a number of years ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was 2019.
2019. Boy, we're still young, John, in those days. But it was fun to see that when you see the tower building about 6 times in the movie. It says, I know that building.
Yep,
I've seen that before. Also, Dean DeLaley and company and Sonar presented the microphones from the studio to the director, to the movie producer in ceremony when they came to town in recent times. That was a great moment. When you don't have the WBBM microphone, do you as a keepsake, John?
No.
Oh, darn it. See, we will well have our time on this. This in-studio microphones given to the man, and then we see them in the movie. That's like a wonderful keepsake. We appreciate, John, any final thoughts for us?
No, it's been a great time, Jeff. I always enjoy being with you. Man, it's been fun. Jeff, we're such good friends for so long.
Oh, it's been great.
A thrill always to be on with you.
And we've done some Lyle history now, video wise, and that's great because Jay Grahowski is the greatest athlete in Lyle High School history. And we talked with Ken Peters, who was a great football star. This is just Lyle history, but we've been able to capture that, and we'll do more of that as well. That's been great fun in the city that we grew up in and know so well to be involved with that. Just like you're Elgin there, young man. Matt, are you in Elgin all your life, Elgin?
Most of my life. I was adopted, but most of my life, I definitely consider myself an Elginite for sure.
All right. Well, we appreciate your great work. Matt McNeil it is. And John Grahowski with us. We appreciate all the concepts coming up that we have. John, we'll have you with us. Whatever George Rawlinson says, we do on the radio. So you know that. Those are the law. There's a George Rawlinson rule. If George says it, we'll do it. So we'll have you back from time to time. Great.
Well, thank you, George, too.
Yeah, that's right.
Jeff and Matt. Yeah.
No one has more knowledge than you, and it's just a great conversation that we appreciate all the things you've done, all the great writing, and we haven't even looked at your college career at University of Illinois, which was wonderful, wasn't it? You had a lot of great things down there.
Yeah, the University of Illinois was fun, and especially for me, the Daily Illini. I was a sports editor of the Daily Illini,
That's great.
And a little bit as chief copy editor of the Daily Illini. And I didn't go down to be a journalist. It took over my life when I found the Daily Illini.
Yeah, you're really a science guy, aren't you? What was your major going to be?
My original major was chemistry.
Chemistry.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that? You'd be Dr. Grahowski now. I'm a chemistry major. What made you change then? Well, I think I've told my I'll tell my quick radio story. I became a broadcaster. I went down to Western Illinois as I think a political science major. Somebody asked me, what's George McGovern's policy for finances? I said, I have no idea. That same day, they were doing a live remote down down at Western, and I said, that's what I want to do. I want to be a broadcaster. I remember, why would I sit down and say political science? I wasn't sure of George McGovern's exact political thoughts, John. It seemed like a good story in rehearsal, but it was great. So same thing you just said, hey, I can write. They've got a chance for me here. Was that moment for you?
It was, the Daily Illini placed an ad in the newspaper saying they were looking for volunteers to cover intramural sports and come to this meeting. And you know me, Jeff. We've both always been sports guys. And I looked at this ad and said, well, that could be fun, just as a little side thing. And so I went to the meeting and. They started assigning me out to do stories, and I found I had a knack for it.
Oh, great! That's great.
So there we go. That from there it kind of took over the life, and now some of my best friends are Daily Illini people. We have people from our era still get together.
Yeah, no, you do. You get together in Niles, don't you? Hey, that's music. John Grahowski, you are wonderful to be with us here. We appreciate that all the time. We'll do more in the future. We're so glad we had a chance to chat with you today, sir.
Oh, yeah, it was my pleasure, Jeff. Anytime. Jeff, Matt.
All right. Thanks, John.
Thanks so much.
Matt, you wrap up the show. It's your hour. We're just here to talk to you and John.
All right, sounds good. So we're going to take a quick time out as we take it to the top of the hour news and messages from our sponsors. Of course, when we come back, we'll talk a little bit more. I'll bring up some newspaper articles here, too.
Old? Current?
Some old ones from Grand Victoria.
Oh,
I'll bring up for you.
You're following us with a show just like this.
Yeah, we will. So
congratulations, young man. You are a broadcaster.
We'll be back here in just a bit, folks. Stay tuned. And you're listening to WRMN. All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Out to Lunch with WRMN. It's the 12 o'clock hour. Yes, we are officially now in the afternoon. Still beautiful and sunny outside today. A day to enjoy. Happy Monday, everybody. Hopefully everyone is enjoying the show so far. Thank you, of course, for Jeff Myers for coming on here, as well as John Grohowski, as well, a very familiar face within the area. Thank you so much for your time coming on here onto WRMN AM 1410. What I want to do here actually is I want to share here on YouTube for just a brief moment here. If you go to newspapers.com, which I actually do have here too, you can actually find some really, really cool articles that featured kind of the little history, or quite big history, on the Elgin Casino here. So I'll bring it up to you here so that you can watch it on YouTube. If not, of course, you can listen in and see it for yourself. So this is a Chicago Tribune Wednesday, October 5th, 1994 newspaper article titled "Place Your Bets." Yes, it's got a beautiful picture of the boat, as well as here too, even a picture of the plastic covered slot machines on the Grand Victoria Casino in Elgin. And they even said here, quote, "When it rolls onto the Fox River, possibly this week, the 3-story, 400-foot Grand Victoria will be in Illinois' largest riverboat casino." That is really cool. That's the thing, of course, I love about newspapers.com. I'm also sure, of course, you can find these articles as well at different local libraries, as well as, of course, history museums, or maybe you yourself have a copy or two or many of these different newspaper articles. It's definitely a treasure to be recognized. So we want to recognize that here today. They even have here too some interesting riverboat revenue statistics. The 1994 fiscal year ended in June 30th, it said, and then it had a list of different ones here too on the projected riverboat casino revenues of the impact of Elgin's casino that at the time said is anybody's guess, they said. So that's pretty interesting there too. And then there's even a newspaper article, and you can't really see it that well with some of the pictures, but it is from the Northwest Herald on Friday, October 7th, back in 1994, which is titled here, quote, "Anchors Away for Casino. Elgin hopes gamble will pay off big." And that was a Northwest Herald article that was written here. And there's even some pictures here too that has, quote, "The participants of the maiden cruise of the Grand Victoria Casino in Elgin try their hand at the tables that was on a Thursday night back in 1994. They even have here too, Elgin residents Don and Pat Pomeroy watch as the casino floats out on the Fox River," with the picture included too. So if you would like to read these articles yourself, there's lots of different websites, of course, that you can go to. I'm subscribed to newspapers.com because I do like to bring up a history here, and it's great to, of course, look up lots of different history that is digitized. So very cool. I mean, the title of this one here too is, quote, "Gamblers give high marks to Riverboat's atmosphere." There was an article written by Karen Riverdale of the Northwest Herald that does go in to describe it. I'll even read this nice little story here too, to kind of get you a little history on what happened back in 1994 in Elgin. "Teresa Michalak of Glendale Heights may be packing her bags soon. I think I found a new home," she said, beaming over mounds and mounds of shiny metal tokens she won Thursday night. "I'm going to be here all night." Michalak was one of the biggest dollar slot winners on the 2-hour maiden cruise of the Elgin's Grand Victoria Casino. She took home more than $3,000 in 3 pots of about $1,000 each from the riverboat's one-armed bandits. How cool is that? So again, these are some really great articles that you can read. It is history, of course, so feel free to check it out. And there's even one from October 13th, brought to you by the Times Press, Entertainment Extra here. So definitely something also cool to take a look at as well too. The article titled "New Boat Drawing Gamblers" is another one. It's the Elgin Boat is Biggest, written by the Times Press Charles Keeshan. So if you want to read that too, you can find it, of course, on newspapers.com. There's a picture of the logo of Grand Victoria Casino and some pictures as well as the inside as well. This was, an AP photo that titles it that the workers complete this installation of slot machines on the Grand Victoria Casino in Elgin, the newest gambling boat in its full operation. I also have to say here too, my grandpa was there the day of when the boat was put into the river, and somewhere he filmed it. Yes, I have yet to try to see where it is in the many videos that he filmed, but he did film the day of. So that's pretty cool. If I can find it, hopefully have it digitized and share with you out here too. That would be pretty cool. So that's really nice. Again, thank you to the guests for coming on today. Again, you're listening to WRMN AM 1410, Voice of the Valley, Talk of the Town. We are broadcasting live here from downtown Elgin, serving the Fox River Valley. Now, what I want to do here is a little bit more compressed version of National Day calendar, and then also going into what's happening within the area as well. So we'll touch base a little bit here on what are some of the national days that are today. For example, here we've got National Chocolate Covered Pretzel Day. Delicious treat to have anytime, but especially pretty popular during the Halloween season as well. So definitely something to enjoy. Officially marking today is the sweet and salty goodness of National Chocolate Covered Pretzel Day. Whether they're dipped in dark milk or white chocolate, be sure to celebrate every mouth-watering pretzel bite. I would have to say my favorite type when it comes to chocolate covered pretzels are white chocolate covered pretzels. I really enjoy those. You get the saltiness, of course, with the pretzel. You also get the crunchy pretzels themselves and the sweetness of the chocolate. Put together, you get a gold mine of snack world. And their combination is the epitome of the oh-so-popular sweet and salty flavor craze as a mix. So that is celebrated today, very much so. And even some historians document the story of chocolate quite well. As it turns into dipping it, well, they do say that it kind of started in the 1800s, it says, that they had that. Well, it's kind of a little history on the chocolate, of course, and when that chocolate was. So was anyone dipping pretzels into chocolate back in the 1500s? Well, they might have had a soggy mess because only drinking chocolate existed in those days. But nearly 300 years later, then it was developed and processed to separate the cocoa solids from the butter. Then in 1828, the creation brought on a candy revolution, which led to the development of what we have today, of course, chocolate. So there's a little history there and a way to celebrate today by getting some good chocolate-covered pretzels. You can find some, of course, at local candy stores. Another day that's recognized today is National Lead Light Day. That is today on October 7th. It is a day that is illuminated and considered it as National Lead Light Day. And why is it today? Well, we're all born as incredible detectors of light. We intuitively notice differences in color and in brightness. And lighting professionals know that much of human sensation is visual. People respond emotionally to light and color, using its consistency to draw us in like moths to a glowing light. The power of the LED light affects all of us emotionally, economically, and environmentally as well, too, even if we don't realize it in our daily life, too. So it is National LED Light Day today. So, of course, how to observe it is to, explore the many benefits. Visit a showroom, purchase your own too. Helps to save some energy as well while doing it. So very good. Some other days that are also recognized today as well. It is National Propane Day, recognized today on October 7th. This is a day to celebrate propane suppliers across the country. It gives us the opportunity to dedicate an entire day to a group of small business owners who provide propane to their customers 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. There are over 3,500 propane suppliers across the United States. Most of these suppliers actually are small, and they're usually also family-owned too and operated small businesses. They provide propane services to local communities. Now, oftentimes suppliers take extraordinary measures to keep their customers and their families safe and warm during natural disasters and power outages. So this is a way to show our appreciation to the propane suppliers in your area and also learn a few facts about this eco-friendly alternative. It's a gas normally compressed and stored as a liquid Also sometimes known as LPG, liquefied petroleum gas. It's a common product that we use for space and water heating, cooking, fuel engine, fuel for engine applications. Forklifts use it too for machinery, farm irrigation engines, fleet vehicles. They all use propane to operate, and also buses do as well too. So now it's true here too that the propane was found in the 1990 Clean Air Act. It's a great substitute for gas and fuel oil. It not only reduces the greenhouse gas carbon dioxide, it also reduces air pollutants like carbon monoxide and nitrogen oxide too. So that's pretty interesting there too. If you want to read a little bit more history, of course, there's lots of different articles you'll be able to find. If you want it kind of condensed together, you can find it on nationaldaycalendar.com. The U.S. actually produces over 90% of the propane, which is reducing our dependency on foreign oil. It's energy efficient. Using propane for your furnace instead of conventional electricity may actually reduce your energy by up to 90%. Propane freezes at negative 44 degrees Fahrenheit, making it a great heating choice during the harsh winters. As a clean burning fuel, it reduces emissions into the air as well. So that's also a day recognized today. We've also got some other things as well here too, which we'll talk about here in just a bit. We're going to take a quick time out. We'll be back with more Out to Lunch with WRMN. Stay tuned. right. Welcome back, folks, to Out to Lunch with WRMN AM 1410. Got a little bit of time left here before we kick it off to our bottom of the hour news and messages from our sponsors. Then when we hit it off there into around 12:34 or so, that means we'll be in our Tradio segment. So stay tuned for that as we get into Tradio. If you're looking to buy, sell, trade, and or announce to the Fox River Valley area, that'll be the time to call in to the phone lines of 847-931-1410. Don't forget, of course, you can also text our Image 360 info number at 505-926-1410. Again, 505-926-1410. Brought to you by Image 360 of South Elgin. Supplier of custom indoor and outdoor signage, banners, and displays, plus digital printing. This is a way to create custom signs, graphics, and displays that'll enhance your business's image. If you want to check out their website for more information, that is image360.com. This is at 506 Sundown Road in South Elgin. That is Image 360, your one source for custom signs. So thank you to them, of course, for being a part of the Image 360 info number. Again, you can text that 505-926-1410. If you want to be a part of the conversation, of course, you can contact our you can also, oh my goodness, you can also type it on YouTube as well, because we're on youtube.com at WRMN Radio. You can keep up to date with what's happening here in the Fox River Valley and with WRMN. Some other days that are recognized today on National Day calendar. This is a big day today. This is National Inner Beauty Day. Now, this is a day that is focusing on raising awareness and supporting victims of human trafficking. Now, everyone, of course, has a story. And there's a passion that expresses who we are as individuals. And we definitely have strength in embracing those stories and telling those stories to people too. Without filtering through someone else's definition of beauty. When our core values reflect on the outside, we have given the world the gift that we were born to give. So this is a day recognized today. They have different donation centers that you can go to. So there's one actually called Saving Innocence. If you want to donate to them, it'll help continue their work with victims of human trafficking. There's even an Inner Beauty Challenge as well too that's featured on National Day calendar. I mean, there's a lot of different things that you can partake in too. So Saving Innocence, which is it's a Los Angeles-based nonprofit organization. It's known for their work to help victims of trafficking. They've been a supporter of the Inner Beauty Challenge from its inception too. So, take the challenge if you'd like, along with family, friends, anyone who is encouraging to give a charitable amount if you like. There's different referral directories to go to, and the Polaris Project and more too. So that is also recognized today as well in October, as it is October 7th. October 7th. Another day recognized today is National Pierogi Day. Happy National Pierogi Day, everybody. A delicious Polish dumpling or in Ukrainian, varenkik is how it's pronounced, I think. Traditionally considered a peasant food, but they eventually gained popularity and spread throughout all social classes, including nobles in Europe. Pierogies are pretty good. You can have them stuffed with different fillings. You can do potatoes and cheese, potato and onion, cabbage, mushrooms, spinach. The whole list goes on. You could probably, of course, make your own pierogies as well. They can also be served with like melted butter, sour cream, fried bacon crumbles, sauteed mushrooms, onions. There's a whole lot of different things as well too. So National Pierogi Day activities, of course, visit your local Polish restaurant, make your own. You can do a Polish-themed potluck if you'd like. Go crazy with that too. And there's ways to love it, of course. You can even have them as a dessert. I've had a pierogi before where it's filled with like a sweet cheese. It's really sweet. It's like a really sweet cheese. And I thought it was pretty good. Definitely good for a nice dessert, a palate cleaner for sure. And they're definitely a comfort food as well to enjoy. So that is recognized today, National Pierogi Day. Another day that's also recognized today is a Frappuccino. Yes, it's National Frappuccino Day. also recognized today in the U.S. Now, Frappuccinos are a good drink to have as kind of a little treat, or also if you like it, maybe as a daily coffee go-to. They are undoubtedly an American staple in the coffee-consuming world for sure. Millions celebrate this day today. Now, the history of the day, well, caffeine fix was definitely very much so a thing that's been going on for a while. People needing caffeine. And actually, the first Frappuccino was from 1957 at the Thessaloniki, I think it's how it's pronounced, International Fair in Greece. So how cool is that? So that was produced then in Greece back in 1957. Dimitris Vakondios invented the Greek Frappuccino. First Starbucks coffee house opened in 1957. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that at all. I thought Starbucks was like maybe an 80s thing or maybe 70s. 1957. Pike's Place in Seattle, Washington is where it opened. Interesting. Now, the first Frappuccino was blended in Boston in 1994. Coffee Connection shop owner George Howell invents the Frappuccino in Boston, Massachusetts, and he also trademarked the name Frappuccino, a name played on the beloved international coffee favorites, the Greek frappe and Italian cappuccino. So you get that frappe and cappuccino, put it together, it's a Frappuccino. Very good. 1994 rolls around. Starbucks acquires the Coffee Connection Frappuccino recipe and name, same time that the casino boat went out. Howard Schultz buys George Howell's Coffee Connection stores, changes the Frappuccino recipe, and renames all the stores to Starbucks. Interesting. So you can learn some really interesting history here. This and more can be found on nationaltoday.com and also nationaldaycalendar.com as well, too. Remember, you're listening to WRMN AM 1410. If you'd like to take a look at our website, we're WRMN1410.com. You can listen to us live through the AM 1410 dial. You can also listen to us, of course, through the app, which is available for download for iOS users out there. If you're an Apple user, you can use it on your Mac. You can use it on your phone, your iPad, and more. And then there's also, of course, available on Google Play for Samsung users out there, too. So if you like using Google Play, you can find it on there under Online Radio Box Radio Player. That is the app to use. You can also follow us on Facebook, of course, as well. On YouTube, of course, we're youtube.com at WRMN Radio is where you'll be able to find us there, too. If you do want to take a look, of course, also at our weekly lineup and weekend lineup, that is available online too, WRMN1410.com. That's where you can go to. So we are going into the bottom of the hour news and messages from our sponsors here coming up in just a little bit. Again, you're listening to Matt broadcasting live here from downtown Elgin, serving the Fox River Valley as WRMN takes you out to lunch. After the break here, we'll head on into our Tradio segment. If you are looking to purchase, sell, trade, and or announce to the Fox River Valley area, of course, that'll be the time to call in at 847-931-1410. Again, 847-931-1410. Of course, you can also text your information to the Image 360 line at 505-926-1410. Stay tuned, and we'll be back with more in just a bit.
Tickets for your daughter to see that singer who sings about painful breakups. And one song will inspire your little beauty to break up with that beast she's dating, Brian. Instead, she'll date someone who's nice and worthy of her love, not someone who addresses you and your spouse as bro. And it's all because you could save money switching at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Progressive presents the Sports Flash on News Talk Radio 1410 WRMN. Number 24, Illini football on the bye this week. They return to action a week from tomorrow at home against the Purdue Boilermakers. Illinois is 4-1 this season, 1-1 in the Big Ten. Purdue's lost 3 in a row. They're 1-3, 0-1 in the conference. Jason Simmons, the new offensive coordinator on an interim basis for the Boilermakers. Home game tomorrow night for Southern Illinois against Illinois State. SIU looking to snap a 2-game losing skid. They're 2-3, 0-1 in the Missouri Valley. Illinois State 3-2 on the season, 0-1 in the conference. It's a bye week for number 14 Notre Dame football. They return to action a week from tomorrow at home against Stanford. Notre Dame's 1-3. Home game for the Bears this Sunday. 2-2 Chicago takes on the 1-3 Carolina Panthers.
Bundle auto and home, renters or condo, and save with Progressive.
I'm Chuck Sanders on News Talk Radio 1410 WRMN.
Order for Jennifer C.
Is this my double shot, double cream, double froth, double pump, double hot, double whip, double sleeve?
Yeah. Can you handle that much caffeine?
Hey, did you know Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Well, I do.
Seriously, did you know Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Yeah, you just said that.
Did you say I just said that?
Yeah, I'm cutting you off.
Did you say you're cutting me off?
You earn, we match. Unlimited cashback match. See terms at discover.com/creditcard.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by
All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Out to Lunch. And of course, you know what time it is. We are in our Tradio segment. Yes, yes, yes. If you're looking to purchase, that is buying, selling, trading, and or announcing to the Fox River Valley area, feel free to give me a call today at 847-931-1410. Again, that's 847-931-1410. Or, of course, you can also text the Image 360 info number at 505-926-1410. Again, 505-926-1410. If you would like to announce something to us, of course, maybe something that's going on here. Maybe you have a garage sale coming up here. Maybe you've got an event coming up. Maybe there's a potluck, something. Whatever might be going on, let us know here on the radio, 847-931-1410. Of course, it'll also go on through the YouTube side of things as well, too. So if you would like to take a look at that, too, of course, feel free to. We've got a user by the name of Matthew. Well, hello, Matthew. I'm Matthew. Awesome. Saying it's lunchtime. Yes, it is lunchtime, Matthew. Thank you so much for commenting in on the YouTube side of things. Hopefully you're having a good day so far. And yeah, very nice. Thanks so much. And of course, to everyone else listening in and also commenting in as well, too. So Pardon me. Let's go into our Tradio segment here. We'll talk about some of the previous Tradio callers that have called in within the past couple of weeks or so. And like I always say, too, if you would like to add yourself to the list, feel free to call the number here, 847-931-1410. 847-931-1410. So let's take a look here. We have a Tradio caller who's looking for a part-time janitor job within the Elgin area. So if anyone is interested or happens to know of someone that has a part-time janitor job within the area, feel free to reach out to them. That number is 847-697-9228. Again, 847-697-9228 is that number to dial. Another Tradio caller here. This is Wood by Jeff in Elburn, updating us on some information. Of course, he still does have the garden stakes, canning jars, and fishing lures that he's looking to get rid of for free. He also does have aromatic cedar wood scrap pieces, some shelving boards, concrete boards, and firewood, as well as pegboards. He also has for sale some walnut, oak, and cherry lumber that he's selling. He also has some tinder pieces. They're skinny pieces of wood as well. He also does have some window screens that are adjustable. Has 4 of them for free. And then he is still looking for a place for his shop in Elburn or Naperville, but he is also open to different possibilities. So maybe you yourself, or maybe you know someone that has space to looking to maybe get someone to rent out, especially space maybe for a woodworking shop. Feel free to reach out to Wood by Jeff, Jeff Woodsmith in Elburn. That is 630-365-9488. Again, 630-365-9488 is that number to dial. Another Tradio caller here has a 1972 jukebox for sale. It does need a little bit of work, but it's a pretty nice one. Asking $150 for the asking price. Also has a sit-down slot machine, double diamonds, takes quarters and pays out in quarters, $200 for that. So if anyone is interested in either or maybe both, feel free to reach out to this Tradio caller. His number is 847-8813. Again, 847-8813. Another Tradio caller here is looking for a used Toro 721 snowblower. So if anyone happens to have a used Toro 721 snowblower, or maybe one that's never been opened sitting in your garage or storage unit, feel free to reach out to her. That number is 224-305-4017. Again, 224-305-4017 is that number to dial. Another Tradio caller here has a friend who is selling a truck, a 2006 Ranger for sale, a must sell. $1,600 or a best offer is the asking price. It can also trade as well if you prefer it that way. Has a toe on the back, a little bit of rust on the sides, but still very good. If anyone's interested, feel free to reach out to him. That number is 847-354-8854. Again, 847-354-8854. Another Tradio caller here, Maggie, is calling in, and she has quite a bit of DVD collections for sale. So if you're a collector, some of these might be interesting to you. She has the full set of Mary Tyler Moore Show, of the Mary Tyler Moore Show. She has the full 7 seasons of Gilmore Girls, plus A Year in the Life. She has the first 4 seasons of the TV show Castle, as well as the first 4 seasons of the show Boston Legal. She also has a beautiful Yamaha keyboard for sale. It comes with the stand, instructions, all the great bells and whistles that come with it too. $200 is the asking price on that. And then finally, she also does have 2 cemetery plots in Lakewood Cemetery for sale. She is moving and she's not going to be able to use them. So she's giving it, selling it for someone who might be able to use them there within the Lakewood Cemetery. Feel free to reach out to Maggie for more information. That number is 224-508-5532. Again, 224-508-5532. Another Tradio caller here. This is Northwest West, of course, calling in about the St. Mary's fundraiser. $10 a ticket, chance to win 4 drawings. 3 $50 drawings and a $1,500 grand prize drawing. All the winners are returned to the drawing. You can win multiple times. If you're interested, feel free to reach out to him by texting or calling, text preferred. That number is 630-817-8880. Again, 630-817-8880. Another Tradio caller here has an adjustable twin XL bed for sale. It does come with a remote, so it is adjustable through remote electronically. The asking price is $200. If anyone's interested, feel free to reach out to her. That number is 847-830-7199. 847-830-7199. Another Tradio caller here has a rifle, pistol, and shotgun reloading equipment and supplies that come with the two. So if anyone's interested in that, feel free to reach out to him. That number is 847-341-8546. 847-341-8546. Again, is that number to call into. We have a caller on hold. Let's take it to the phone lines. Hi there, caller. You're on with WRMN.
Hey, Matt. Greg DeRay calling. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you today?
I'm dandy. Day off for a doctor's appointment, so glad to catch your show. I know nice. I don't seem to listen as much since the format has changed, and I'm just throwing this out to the powers that be. For the last few months, usually at the time change, I expect it, but constantly I've lost power or signal. I live near Gulf and Higgins, and by the time I get past 53, I can't hear you anymore. And I used to hear you all the way to my job in Niles. So I don't know if there's something going on, but I just wanted to point that out because I largely can't listen because of the signal issue. So I don't think it's my car, but I just, like I said, I'm not complaining. Just want to put that out there.
No, I'm glad. I appreciate you. Thanks so much for putting that out there. We're definitely going to take note of that.
And we love the job. I heard Larry's pulling the plug. We're going to miss him. And thanks for all the good, if he's listening, thanks for all the good work, the good memories, and fun times, because that's been a real blessing for us. And sounds like George is going to step up. I'm so glad I was off to hear the show this morning.
Yeah, absolutely. Very much so.
And thank you for all you do as well.
Oh, you're very welcome.
I'm going to proceed with a couple Tradio issues. You know what I'm looking for, right?
You are looking for, is it the watches?
Yeah, Omega watches and Schwinn bicycles, or any old bicycles. And I can put a car out for sale, right?
Of course.
Yeah, my son is selling his 2003 Mustang. He lost his other car. It was a victim of a drug chase. He wasn't in the car. It was parked on a street in downtown Milwaukee where he lives, and it was parked on the street. He wasn't anywhere near it, and the perpetrator plowed into the back of his Grand Marquis at about 80 miles an hour.
Oh, goodness.
He had to buy this car, which we know the woman who had it. She's owned it almost its whole life. It's a 2003 Ford Mustang convertible, and this was her baby. It sat until the last 2 years. It spent its whole life in the garage. It is really a cream puff. It's got 81,000 miles, a leather interior. It's charcoal gray with a gray leather interior, black top, convertible top. And since we've had it, we put in a full, complete tune-up, all new hydraulics, including the hydraulic cylinders for the convertible top, because there was a small leak when we got it, and we went through that. New brakes, new tires. For somebody who has a college kid or just wants to put their son or daughter in a really safe, good all-around fun car, that's what it is. We had it priced high. We bought the car when the prices were way up. We paid $9,000 for it, plus put all the work. We had it for sale for $85,000. We lowered it to $7,000, and for the Tradio special, we'd sell it for $65,000. If you look up the blue book on it, it is a 6-cylinder. It's not the big V8, But if you look up the Blue Book, it's anywhere from $7,000 to $13,000,
Wow.
and you won't find another one as pretty or in as nice condition. He wanted more power, so he got himself a Challenger.
There you go. Nice.
As far as the car, it's been babied. It's really a sweetheart. And if somebody just wants a fun car for the summer, I challenge you to find a better deal for the shape it's in. 847-884-6033. 847-884-6033. And if he yells at me, he didn't want less than 7, but I just want it out of my driveway. So I'll make up the difference with him.
Sounds good, Greg. Thanks so much for calling in. Always appreciate it, of course. You have a wonderful rest of your day.
You guys keep up the great work.
Thank you so much.
All right, bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye. All right, that was Greg calling in here. You know it. He's looking for those old bicycles, late 1800s to the 1950s, 60s, and or 70s. Schwinn bicycles, balloon tires, bone shakers, parts, pieces, and or accessories. They can be in any condition. He's also looking for those Omega watches, men's or women's style watches, and also the diver style watches. He's a collector, not a dealer. He'll pay top dollar on those for sure. And then he also has for sale a 2003 Mustang. It's got 81,000 miles on it. Definitely been babied, he says there. It's a charcoal gray color with some nice leather interior, all new hydraulics, new brakes, tires, etc. And asking $6,500 for it is the asking price on this. So if anyone's interested, please feel free to reach out to him. That's 847-884-6033. Again, that's 847-884-6033. We're going to take another quick time out here, folks. We'll be back with more Out to Lunch with WRMN. Stay tuned.
This is McGruff the Crime Dog, and I need you to help me take a bite out of crime. Counterfeit products are popping up everywhere. Fake sneakers, fake cosmetics, and even fake pills. Crooks are selling counterfeit versions of just about everything. Last year, billions of dollars worth of counterfeit products were sold in the U.S. Sure, it may seem like saving a few bucks on the things you want isn't a big deal, but counterfeits are usually made in unsafe conditions, potentially using hazardous and even lethal ingredients that could harm you and others. And the money you've paid, it goes right into the hands of criminals and may support child labor, drugs, and even gangs. Smells like big crime to me. So if you still think buying fake products is harmless, think again. And remember, if you don't know where the products came from, how could you know where the money goes? You're smart, buy smart. Go for real. Learn more at mcgruffpsa.org. This message is brought to you by the United States Patent and Trademark Office and the National Crime Prevention Council.
For a little lighthearted lawlessness on Sunday afternoons, listen to Handle on the Law from 4 to 7 p.m. Handle on the Law is a unique combination of useful legal advice and outrageous handle remarks. Whether you're talking about Big Brother, big business, big legal problems, or Big Macs, you'll rarely find Bill without an opinion. His rapid-fire commentary gives listeners the information they crave in the way they crave it. It's Handle on the Law, Sunday afternoons from 4 to 7 p.m. right here on WRMN, AM 1410 and 96.7 FM.
Batteries Plus Bulbs is more than batteries and bulbs. It's your repair shop for Apple devices, Samsung Galaxy devices, and more. Located on Randall Road, just south of 20 in Elgin, Batteries Plus Bulbs fills all your battery and light bulb needs in one stop. They have the largest selection of batteries for ATVs, cameras, phones, laptops, scooters, cars and homes, and everything else. Looking to save money with energy-efficient LED or holiday lighting? Stop in at Batteries Plus Bulbs in Elgin. Go to batteriesplus.com for special offers.
Here at WRMN Radio, we try to connect with the community and discuss important issues, like our current mental health crisis. Here's Lori Baker, President and CEO of AID.
I think most people, when they see young children thinking about suicide at the ages of 5 and 6 and 7, I mean, that's shocking to me that children even know that they want to harm themselves somehow. I know it's difficult. I definitely feel the pinch. We all feel the pinch at the gas pump, at the grocery store, right, in our rents, but I think most people could handle 27 cents a day to help kids and seniors and people experiencing homelessness.
Discussions like this take place on the first shift. weekday mornings from 6 to 10, right here on WRMN AM 1410 and WRMN 1410 Radio on Facebook. All right, welcome back, folks, to Out to Lunch with WRMN AM 1410. We still have a little bit of time left here as we are in our Tradio segment to buy, sell, trade, and or announce to the Fox River Valley area. Yes. Hopefully everyone is enjoying the day so far. Happy Monday. We're into the afternoon time. Beautiful sunny skies all around today. So definitely a day to go outside and enjoy the beautiful weather. We've got here, of course, the Stop in Dip, which I went to on Saturday. I enjoyed a nice coffee there too, which is very good. So we give them a very warm welcome as they are now open. This is crepe and gelato. It's called the Stop in Dip. And what's interesting here too, they're right next to the Shawarma Stop. And then there's Stop and Dip. And of course, there's a nice little, oh my goodness. There's nice double doors that are open, nice glass double doors that you can go through in and out. So you can get some good, delicious food at Shawarma Stop, Mediterranean. And then, of course, you can stop right over to the Stop and Dip for a nice little ice crepe or gelato treat. And also coffee drinks as well, too. So very nice. Definitely a good place to go to. Very friendly staff and owners there as well. Very hospitable. A nice place to go to as well. I'd also say reasonable prices for sure, too. So very nice. We hope that they're around for a long time. Very good, very nice people for sure. So we'll continue on. I want to continue on going through the other Tradio callers that have called in here. Want to make sure, of course, we get the messages out there for them and for you as well, too, who are listening in. Some other Tradio callers that have called in here. We have another Tradio caller has some plus size dresses, pants, and shirts. They're 3X and 4X ladies. If you're interested in giving her a call, that number is 847-533-4673. Again, 847-533-4673. Another Tradio caller here has 2 cemetery lots in Chapel Hill Garden West in Oak Brook. Looking to sell them. They've never been used. $3,500 for both of them, and it includes all transfer fees. If you're interested in reaching out to him, that number is 630-202-0800. Again, that's 630-202-0800. We have Lawnmower Chris has the 2010 Town and Country engine and transmission. 3.8 liter in the transmission is a 62 TE transmission, 6-speed. 151,000 miles on it for sale. Looking for interested parties. And the transmission is on a wheeled trolley for someone to have. Price is negotiable, $2,000 for the package, and also to throw reasonable offers too. So if you're interested in reaching out to him, that number is 630-901-1100. Again, 630-901-1100 is that number to dial. And those are the Tradio callers that have called in within the past couple of weeks here. If you'd like to add yourself to the list, that number to dial here, of course, is 847-931-1410, 847-931-1410. Of course, you can also text it to the Image 360 info number at 505-926-1410. Again, 505-926-1410. So there you go. Got some good things. Let's see here. Actually, there is an announcement here. This was, maybe Marky B already did announce it here too, but Hector did send a note here with a picture onto the text line saying there's a new churro place on Randall Road next to the New Harbor Freight Store. He went there Friday. It's a nice new little spot. So it's a churro bar on Randall Road. So that sounds pretty cute. Good place to get some good churros. So churro spot on Randall Road in Elgin. It's a nice little churro bar, it looks like here too. 238 South Randall Road in Elgin at the Otter Creek Shopping Center. It's a nice little churro bar that you can go to. So thank you, Hector, for posting that information out there. Yes, definitely new because it's right near, pardon me, it's right near like the Fannie Mae candies. It's right near Hobby Lobby, Party City. So yeah, it's definitely new because I've been in that area many, many times before. So very nice. Good place to go to if you want to check it out. They are now open. Stop by and check them out. Very cool. And they have that posted actually on what's happening in Elgin. They posted it back in April. So they posted it back in April on what's happening in Elgin. So very nice. They've got that open. 238 South Randall Road in Elgin. Speaking of which, what's happening in Elgin here, as well as what else is happening within the area. Let's take a look and see what we've got coming up here, kind of across here within the Fox River Valley. Geneva. Eat to support Mill Creek Elementary. If you go to Oberweis, they're going to be having that coming out to support Mill Creek Elementary School today. Take off a night from cooking. Money from this fundraiser helps support activities, enrichment, learning, and fun throughout the year. Your support means a lot to these kiddos. So thank you, Elise of What's Happening in Geneva, for posting this information. 20% is donated back. This is coming up. It's happening right now until 9:30. They say to RSVP below, so there is a link to that too. This is at Oberweis in Geneva at 2150 South Randall Road. So a nice fundraiser to check out for sure. That is posted onto the What's Happening in Geneva, Illinois Facebook page. Something else here that's coming up in Geneva, Build-A-Palooza. This is Build-A-Palooza, and what it is, it's a Lego free build for everyone. That sounds like a lot of fun. So it's a drive at the Art History Brewery in Geneva. So I'll definitely mention them here. It's the Build-A-Palooza coming up October 13th from 1 to 4 p.m. This is at the Art History Brewing in Geneva. It's a Lego free build for all ages, good beer, and food. Nearly 200 pounds of bricks provided. How cool is that? And they're also going to be opening the tap room at noon by Fernando Street Kitchen. So you can get some good food and also build some fun Legos. And it's also going to Bricks for Hope as well too. So it's a nice fundraiser as well for a good cause. Very nice. Lots of fun things checking out here, of course, at the What's Happening in Import City or Town Facebook pages, and of course also Explore Elgin area and many more. This does wrap it up here for Out to Lunch with WRMN. Stay tuned for more local programming coming around the corner. Have a wonderful rest of your day.